Quick revision, what we have done in previous lecture. We started in previous lecture with free consent. We understood what is consent, understanding same thing in same manner. Then we started understanding what is the meaning of free consent. If consent is not caused by following, consent is free. What are the reasons? Coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation, and mistake. Which 2 points we have done? Coercion and undue influence. Before understanding what you are learning should be absolutely clear. For becoming a valid contract under section 10, consent should be free. When the consent will be free? If consent is not caused by following. So if it is caused by following, consent is not free. If consent is not free, it is not a valid contract. And we have understood if consent is caused through coercion. Again, if the consent is caused, you need to tell me if my screen is not visible. If consent is caused through coercion, then consent is not free. It is not a valid contract. It will become voidable contract. Also, we have understood in undue influence. If the contract is caused by undue influence, consent is not free. It is not a valid contract. It will be voidable contract. And today we are going to learn fraud and misrepresentation, probably mistake also. Let us start with fraud and misrepresentation. Try to concentrate first why we are learning it. To become a valid contract under section 10, there should be free consent because it is one of the essential element of valid contract. When the consent is free, if it is not caused by fraud and misrepresentation. So if it is caused by fraud and misrepresentation, consent is not free. If consent is not free, it is not a valid contract. Because then one of the essential element is not satisfied. So it cannot become a valid contract. It will become again voidable agreement or voidable contract in both the cases, in fraud also and in misrepresentation also. I have told you we will be doing everyday revision of this. Difference between voidable and valid contract. Any new student who have already not given the answer. Difference between valid, void and voidable contract. You need to raise your hand. Vandan.
When both parties are enforced by law, it is known as valid contract.
All right.
When one party is enforceable by law, but another party is not enforceable by law, then it is voidable contract.
All right.
If both party does not enforceable by law, then it is void contract.
Exactly. If the contract is enforceable by both the parties, it is valid. One party not, it is voidable. If the contract is enforceable by both the parties, it is valid contract. This will be one party can enforce the contract into court of law. Another party necessarily cannot enforce into court of law. We are first understanding fraud and representation both together. Fraud misrepresentation. Try to concentrate a contract between I and a furniture wala. There are two parties in the contract. I, furniture wala. Alright. I am going to give 5,000 rupees to this furniture wala. This furniture wala is going to give me wooden chair. So which chair I have purchased, wooden chair I have purchased, I am going to get it after 2 days because he has promised me that the stock will come after 2 days and he will be giving me chair after 2 days. This is a valid contract? Yes, there was offer acceptance, there is consideration for each other, nothing is illegal, this will become a valid contract. But try to concentrate. Furniture wala delivered me actually a chair in a box. There was a full box on the chair and he delivered me chair in a box. This actually contained plastic chair. Which chair I have purchased? Wooden chair. Which chair was delivered? Plastic chair was delivered. It was packed in a box and the box contained plastic chair, and we are talking about this contract. Please try to concentrate. Here, furniture wala delivered me the box saying it is a wooden chair. Even if he is not saying, he has not telephoned me, I have ordered wooden chair. So if he is delivering me something, it is as good as he is delivering me wooden chair. Is it actually a wooden chair or it is actually a plastic chair? It was actually a plastic chair. The matter went into court of law directly. Try to concentrate misrepresentation. Furniture wala was not knowing that the chair was of plastic. Then how he delivered you? He got from his stockist directly that box. That box was delivered to this Mr. I. So he was also not knowing that the chair is of plastic. Please concentrate. If furniture wala was not knowing that chair is of plastic, Arjav, can you tell me whether the intention of furniture wala was bad or not?
No, sir.
No, his intention was not bad. So let me even write down over here. The intention was not bad, was not to cheat, was not bad. And if he can prove in court of law that, sir, I got this box directly from my dealer, the box was packed, I have not seen in the box and I directly delivered this box to Mr. I, it contained a plastic chair, then it will be proved that it is misrepresentation. What will happen if there is misrepresentation? Consent is not free and contract will become voidable contract. Alright, can anyone tell me which party can go into court of law and which party cannot go into court of law? Maitri, will you answer? Which party can go into court of law, which party cannot go into court of law? Because what is voidable contract? Maitri? I think she is having some connection problem. Vatsal?
Sir, you can go into court of law.
Furniture wala cannot go into court of law.
No, sir,
No,
because he
because
was.
it is a voidable contract. The law says it is a voidable contract. So one party, the party who is at loss will be going into court of law. But understand, even furniture wala is having some problem in this contract. He cannot move into court of law. What I will say, can you tell me? By going into court of law.
Sir, I had made contract for a wooden chair, but he delivered a plastic chair.
Alright, but what he will tell to court of law? Now what to do? He has already received plastic chair.
Sir, either he can replace or give me back money.
Exactly. Either he will go into court of law for cancellation of contract. That is, he will return plastic chair and furniture wala will have to give the refund of 5,000 rupees. Or he can go into court of law for enforcing the contract. We will be learning at the time of performance of the contract. But here I am just giving you a base. He can sue for enforcement of contract. That is, I don't want my 5,000 rupees back. You deliver me wooden chair which I have ordered. That is nothing but enforcement of contract. I have performed my promise. You have not performed your promise properly. I am going into court of law telling to judge that tell him to perform his contract perfectly. This is enforcement, but who can go into court of law? I can go into court of law. Sir, why furniture wala go into court of law? That is not our question. In any situation, if misrepresentation is proved, furniture wala cannot file a suit in that particular case. He may file a suit in any other case, but not this particular case. So, this is misrepresentation, not a very bad intention by furniture wala, and so it became misrepresentation. Try to concentrate. The same contract can become fraud and it will again become a voidable contract. But when it will be fraud, try to concentrate. If furniture wala was knowing, if furniture wala was knowing that chair is of plastic. See, furniture wala has got the information. Furniture wala has seen the chair by opening the box and then he again packed the box. He was knowing. And see, understand, this should be proved in court of law that he was knowing that a chair is of plastic. Then, intention of furniture wala was good or bad? Anyone? In chat also it is alright.
Bad.
Yes, intention was bad. Intention was to cheat another person. Intention was to cheat another person. I am just writing intention was bad. If this is proved in court of law, the same contract, same situation, each and every condition same, but it will be regarded as a fraud. Who has done a fraud? Furniture wala has done a fraud with Mr. I. If the contract is caused under fraud, consent is not free. If consent is not free, it cannot become a valid contract. If it cannot become a valid contract, either it will become void or voidable. Law says that it will become voidable contract. So very simple thing. If furniture wala has intentionally delivered the plastic chair, it will be fraud. If furniture wala has unintentionally, without intention of cheating, delivered the plastic chair, it will be voidable under misrepresentation. Difference between fraud and misrepresentation should be absolutely clear. There should not be any doubt regarding fraud and misrepresentation. Alright. Again, by raising the hand, you need to give me answer. I want some new faces also. If under fraud, the contract is voidable, If under misrepresentation also the contract is voidable. Under both the cases, who can go into court of law, or who can enforce, or who can cancel the contract into court of law? I is the only person who can go into court. Furniture wala cannot go into. So, if the result is same, why to determine whether it is a fraud or misrepresentation? It may be representation, it may be fraud. Why furniture wala will tell, okay, I was knowing it was plastic, you don't worry about it, prove it as fraud, then also it is a voidable contract. Misrepresentation, then also it is a voidable contract. Then why to learn a difference? If the result is same, it is going to become a voidable contract. If I can only go into court of law under both the circumstances, why to prove it is fraud or why to prove it is misrepresentation? They can just say it is a voidable contract. Anyone having any idea? You are not knowing it legally. I'll tell you about it. But I want whether you are getting any idea or not. Why they are differentiating between fraud and misrepresentation? Radhika.
Sir, because misrepresentation is not an illegal activity, but fraud is an illegal activity. In that case, furniture wala can have a legal court case going in the, like they might have to pay some fine.
All right. I'll put a comment after all the answers. Yes, Krutikava?
If it is done unknowingly by the furniture wala, then maybe he is not able to pay the loss. He will not have to pay the loss.
What is the loss? I is going into court of law for getting his 5,000 rupees back.
Then he is supposed to pay 5,000. But if he is not doing this unknowingly, then he will not have to pay.
5,000, he will have to pay. He has received 5,000 rupees from Mr. I. Yes or no?
Yes.
Then under misrepresentation also, I can go into court of law. I can cancel the contract. I will be refunding plastic chair back, and furniture wala will have to give 5,000 rupees. There is no way out.
Okay.
Yes, Vandan?
Reputation of firm will become bad in fraud.
All right. Good. See, even if the answers are correct or incorrect, you should always give the answer if you feel so. If you feel this might be the reason, always give the answer. Whether it is correct or incorrect, don't worry much about it. Try to understand more. I'm just summarizing. I've got all the answers in the three answers. Number one is fraud is also illegal activity under Indian Penal Code. Not only it will become a voidable contract if fraud is proved. It is illegal activity under Indian Penal Code. So the contract will be cancelled. Furniture wala will have to pay 5,000 rupees back, sure, but might be having some jail. Fraud is having a jail of maximum of 2 years under Indian Penal Code. So if the fraud is very serious, this fraud is not very serious, but if the fraud is very serious, the furniture wala might go into jail for a period of 2 years. And because it is illegal activity, again some of the person told, fine. When it is illegal activity, you will be having jail also, you will be having fine also, either or both of them. If it is fraud, if it is misrepresentation, it is just a voidable contract. Sir, here also it is not a voidable contract. Yes, it is voidable contract. But along with it, it is an illegal contract. So there will be fraud case under Indian Penal Code also, and furniture wala will have to go into jail. If it is misrepresentation, it is voidable contract, but not illegal one. So there will be no jail, no fine and penalty, So believe me, when I go into court of law, I sue furniture wala will be ready to give me 5,000 rupees back, but he will be more inclined to prove that it was a misrepresentation and not a fraud. This was done unknowingly and not knowingly. See, if you are not knowing the law, if you are furniture wala, and you say into court of law that I was knowing it was plastic chair, believe me, your fraud is proved. You will be getting fine. You will be getting jail. Sometimes in furniture case, you might not be getting jail, but of course you will be getting fine. And last answer, your reputation will be affected. Goodwill. See, every person understands that human being make mistakes. Misrepresentation is a genuine unintentional mistake. Fraud is unintentional cheating. It is not unintentional, it is intentional cheating. So, furniture wala will first prove, see, he will not try to prove that it was nothing and it is a valid contract. He will try to prove that it is misrepresentation rather than fraud. Are you getting it? If fraud is proved, there are some worst circumstances which can, or consequences which can happen. So this is the reason why we are learning difference between misrepresentation and fraud. See, if you are in this class, you might be even knowing why we are learning the difference. Say how normally this is taught. Misrepresentation, fraud. What is misrepresentation? What is fraud? That's it. Then student get it that if it is misrepresentation, it is voidable contract. If it is fraud, it is voidable contract. Then why to prove under a particular circumstances whether it is fraud or not? This is a reason why furniture wala will try to prove that it is misrepresentation, and why I will try to prove it is fraud, because he might be getting some money in form of compensation, in form of fine. This is the difference. We will now be learning individual heading. First, let us start with fraud. What is fraud? We are learning some of the points which are fraud. The suggestion as a fact of that which is not true. By one who does not believe it to be true. See, we will be having same example. A suggestion or dealing. In our case, chair. As a fact. What was a fact? Plastic chair was delivered. Which is not true. Not true means it is not a wooden chair. By one, that is furniture wala, who does not believe it to be true. So he was not knowing that, he was knowing that it is not true. By furniture wala, who knows it is not true, who does not believe it to be true. So who believes it to be false? So furniture wala was knowing that it was a plastic chair, it was not a wooden chair. He guided a person, he dealt in with person and cheated another person, so it will be regarded as fraud. Let me write down answers of misrepresentation also. See, I will be writing same answers. The suggestion as a fact, the suggestion, the fact of that which is not true, of that which is not true. Believing it, not to be true. What did furniture wala believe in misrepresentation? Furniture wala believed that this chair is actually of wood. He was not knowing the chair is of plastic. There was no bad intention. The suggestion or a belief or a advice as a fact. What is a fact? The chair is of plastic. That which is not true. That which is not true means it is of actually it was delivered to be wooden, but now it is of plastic. So it is not true. By a person, furniture wala, believing it not to be true. So even furniture wala was not knowing it is the same thing I have written. Alright. Believing it to be true. So furniture wala was not knowing that the chair is of plastic. He was knowing that the chair is of wooden. He thought that the chair is of wooden. So he thought that the chair is of wooden. Actually, the chair was of plastic, and he dealt in with another person, that is Mr. I. It will be proved as misrepresentation. Number 2, in fraud, we are learning fraud. It is just to say you, if it was not known by the person, it will become misrepresentation. If it is not known by, if it is known by the person, it will be termed as fraud. So the statement is drafted in a weird manner. So if you are having somewhat good amount of control over English, then you should use this type of wordings. If not, you may use a simple wordings also. Any dealing by a person which is not true and not believing it to be true is a fraud. Any dealing by a person which is not true but believing it to be true will be misrepresentation. But if you are having somewhat command over English, you should be learning this language also. Number 2, active concealment of a fact by one having knowledge. Try to concentrate a situation of fraud. I went to a mobile shop to purchase a second-hand iPhone. I told to him, he showed me an iPhone. He told me it will be worth 50,000 rupees. I paid him 50,000 rupees and he gave me iPhone. He was knowing that this iPhone was stolen. And this came to him from a thief. This iPhone was stolen. While selling this mobile, does he told me that iPhone was stolen and he is now selling it? Yes, he might have purchased stolen iPhone at 20,000 rupees. He has purchased. He has actually given me iPhone. But the iPhone was stolen. Was he knowing that it was stolen? The answer is yes. He purchased it from thief. That he was knowing that he is a thief. He was giving at a very discounted rate. So he was knowing that iPhone was stolen. He sold me that iPhone. The contract will term under a fraud. I can go into court of law, sue him under to cancel the contract, get back my 50,000 rupees, sue him for fraud under Indian Penal Code, get some penalty money, and he will be getting some jail. Alright, the person who is selling, I'm not talking about person who has stolen the iPhone. The person who has stolen the iPhone will be behind the bars because stealing something is also crime under Indian Penal Code. This is active concealment of a fact by one having knowledge of it. If that person who was selling was having knowledge about it, that the phone is stolen, he concealed. Concealed is not telling me. Concealment is not telling. और हिंदी में छुपाने का, छुपा रहा है मेरे से. That is an English term termed as concealment. Active concealment of a fact by one having knowledge of. Number 3, a promise made without intention of performing it. Try to concentrate. I'll give you a very interesting example of Hrithik Roshan. These examples are fake and they are not true. I entered into contract, so I am writing my name, so you will automatically understand it is false. Contracted with Hrithik Roshan that I'll give you 10 crore rupees, and I'm giving 10 crore rupees to Hrithik Roshan. Hrithik Roshan will dance on my daughter's marriage. Believe me, when I started teaching law, I was giving example of my marriage. Now I am giving example of my daughter's marriage. So I'm very senior as far as teaching law is concerned. But that he will dance on my daughter's marriage, which is say on 26th January 2022. Alright. At evening 8, I have already given 10 crore rupees to Hrithik Roshan. Hrithik Roshan accepted it. And he took 10 crore rupees and he told that, okay, I will dance on your daughter's marriage. Give me this 10 crore rupees. Try to concentrate what Hrithik Roshan did. After approximately 1 year, it is not exactly 1 year, but after approximately 1 year, Hrithik Roshan on 25th January 2022 rejected to dance on my daughter's marriage and refunded me 10 crore rupees. So he was a very nice person. He refunded me 10 crore rupees. Later, I came to know that Hrithik Roshan has already entered into another contract with Yash Raj Films. That he will not dance in any birthday party, he will not attend any other function except doing film of Yash Raj. And so, Hrithik Roshan was having no intention, even while he took the money, of dancing on my daughter's marriage. He returned me 10 crore rupees. That is good. Can anyone tell me why Hrithik Roshan did this? He was knowing that he is not going to dance on my daughter's marriage. He took 10 crore rupees and then he refunded 10 crore rupees after approximately 1 year. Why he did it? Can anyone tell me? The people are very intelligent. No one? Why Hrithik Roshan took 10 crore rupees and then refunded? Arjo?
While he's working in a film, he has a contract with him, and you have already contract with him. But
Yes.
there is a film which contract was previous than you are, and if he dance in your daughter's birthday party or marriage party, he cheated with the Yash Raj Films, and
I agree, but I am telling you, he was already knowing that I am not going to dance on the daughter's marriage, my daughter's marriage. He was already knowing when he took this 10 crore rupees. It is not so that he got this offer afterwards. He took 10 crore rupees at that time. He didn't told me that Yash Raj Film, I am already having a contract. He was having a contract at that time also with Yash Raj Film. So he didn't told me. My question is then why Hrithik Roshan did this? What is the benefit of Hrithik Roshan? He took 10 crore rupees and then gave me back 10 crore rupees. Yes, there was another student who raised the hand. Radhika, yes.
Sir, maybe because at that time he needed the money, so he took the money, he did his work, and he knew that he have to refund the money, otherwise he can be
Sued in court
legally
of law.
sued in the court.
Alright, so
Yeah.
but then why he took the money, knowing that he will be refunding the money? Yes, Kritika ba?
He was in need of money for doing something at that time, so he took the money, and when it come to perform the dance before 1 month, he repaid it.
Alright. Even if it is not of use, I've got answer in Vandan has given the answer in chat and it is absolutely correct. Try to understand interest. If Hrithik Roshan can have 10 crore rupees invested in fixed deposit, he has taken the money. Let's assume for 1 year. Today's date is 25/1/2021. Suppose it is totally 1 year. What is the rate of interest? Say right now it is 5-6%, but let us understand rate of interest is 10%. If we invest 10 crore rupees in fixed deposit for a period of 1 year, and if fixed deposit is giving 10%, it is 1 crore rupees interest. Hrithik Roshan is very intelligent. He took your 10 crore rupees. He earned it interest of 1 crore rupees, took that interest and refunded you 10 crore rupees. And so Hrithik Roshan is practically intelligent. This was the answer which I was expecting. The Hrithik Roshan, yes, use of money is also a correct answer. I cannot say it is incorrect answer. Say Hrithik Roshan has to pay some emergency bills. He might be getting money afterwards, so he took your 1 crore rupees, paid that bills, and when he got his money, he repaid you back. So this is also a correct answer. But please understand, if the matter goes into court of law, Hrithik Roshan will be in clutch. Why? Number one, Hrithik Roshan has made a promise without intention of performing it. Can be easily proved in court of law. See, I will show this contract between Yash Raj and Hrithik Roshan. That there was already a contract, then also he entered into contract with me. So fraud can be easily proved. Hrithik Roshan will have to pay 10 crores back, which he has paid. I will also sue for interest. So this 1 crore rupees which Hrithik Roshan earned is also gone. I will win the case. He will be getting 1 crore rupees. Sir, if 1 crore rupees is received after 1 year, then interest on interest can also be asked. Alright. So this is, I can sue for interest. I can sue under Indian Penal Code, and Hrithik Roshan may be even in jail. Approximate jail might be 5 months, 6 months, but he might be in jail for cheating. And Hrithik Roshan might be getting some fine from court of law also. So not a very, he might be, after the contract you might feel Hrithik Roshan is very intelligent, but he is not if the matter goes into court of law. Any performance or any promise made without intention of performing it, you don't have to prove intention, anything. No, it will be regarded as fraud. Number 4. Any other act fitted to deceive. Deceive basically means cheat. If you draft your act in such a manner that that act is as good as you are planning something, making a plan to cheat someone, will be regarded as fraud. I'll give you a simple example of this, which might be relevant at your intermediate and final level also. Say, ABC enters into partnership. They register the partnership. The intention is to cheat a bank. Take a 100 crore rupees loan from a bank or to a 300 crore rupees loan from a bank. Each will distribute 100 crore rupees. Then this agreement itself is a fraud. Any other act fitted to cheat someone will be nothing but fraud. Number 5. Now this is very interesting. Any such act which is regarded as a fraud by any other law. See, there are more than 200 laws in India. We are learning Indian Contract Act, then we'll be learning Sale of Goods Act. In intermediate, we'll be learning Income Tax Act, GST law, and numbers of law. If some of the other law says that this is fraud, say Indian Penal Code says that this is fraud, then it will be regarded as fraud even if it is not covered under this fold. If GST Act says that this is fraud, it will be regarded as fraud under Indian Contract Act also. You don't have to separately prove under Indian Contract Act that it is a fraud. This is nothing but will be regarded as a fraud. I should write down. Will be regarded as alright. This is nothing but all the 5 scenarios. We understood it by a basic example only first point, but then we understood one by one each point of fraud. If the contract is entered under fraud, one party is doing fraud with another person, it is not a free consent. Without a free consent, it cannot be a valid contract. If it is not a valid contract, it may be void or voidable, but law says it will be voidable. The person who is doing fraud cannot go into court of law. Counterparty can go into court of law. This is nothing but fraud. See, after completion of lecture, if your parents or younger brother or sisters ask you what you have learned today, don't give them answer fraud. Alright, otherwise they will be misrepresented. If you tell them we have learned how to do fraud. This is a topic of fraud. We are going to misrepresentation. Again, let me write down that. If there is a misrepresentation, consent is not free. If consent is not free, it is not a valid contract. If it is not a valid contract, which contract it is voidable. We are going to some points of misrepresentation. A suggestion as to fact of that which is not true by a person believing it to be true. Your not word is removed. So he believes that the chair is of wood. Then it will be regarded as misrepresentation because chair actually was of plastic. Number 2. Any breach of duty without intention to deceive. I'll tell you, there is some misrepresentation between me and an employee of a bank. See, I deposited in this is contract between me and bank. I deposited money into my wife's account. Deposited money in my wife's account. Her account number was 321654. My wife's name is Tanika, and I deposited say 10,000 rupees. Alright? It was by mistake deposited into another account. By mistake deposited into another account. Why the mistake happened? The same account number 321653. This account number holder name was also Tanika. It was matching. By mistake, the employee pressed 3 instead of 4. So the money was automatically transferred to other Tanika's account. Of course, this amount can be taken back. If this Tanika closed down the account, take all her money at home, it is a different thing. Otherwise, this money can easily be taken back by bank itself. But the thing is, I want to go into court of law that why that employee did it. Now, if it is a misrepresentation, believe me, there will be some inquiry by a bank that employee might be scolded that you should not do this, but there will be no legal consequences of fraud if it was a genuine mistake. It was breach of duty. He didn't perform his duty well, agreed. Without intention to cheat. His intention was not to cheat. His intention was not to cheat. Then this is a clear case of misrepresentation. Alright. Can any student answer me? If this another Tanika, this is my wife. It was deposited in another Tanika's account. If another Tanika is wife of that employee, can anyone tell me still it will be misrepresentation or not? Another Tanika is wife of that particular employee who did this mistake. Will it be fraud or still it will remain misrepresentation? Any student? Dhruvi? Asta? Your voice is not audible properly.
I think it will be fraud.
Alright, you think it will be fraud. Alright. I am saying that this money was deposited by mistake. This person whom the 10,000 rupees was wrongly credited came out to be wife of that employee. Alright, some students are writing very legal answer. Can be a fraud. Alright, believe me, it can be easily proved in court of law that it was intentional and not unintentional. See, mistake can happen, but by mistake, money cannot be transferred to your wife's account. Alright, but it is easy to prove it is fraud. So this answer, I like this answer. It can be proved as a fraud easily. But still, there are some chances that counterparty might say that, okay, it is account of my wife. But see this, only one number difference in account number, the names are same, and so it was just a genuine mistake and not a fraud. So this is, if it was intentional, proved in court of law it was intentional, then it will be fraud. If proved in court of law it was unintentional, it will be misrepresentation. But this should be absolutely clear. Any breach of duty, depositing into wrong account, without intention of cheating will be nothing but misrepresentation. Number 3. Causing innocently any party to do a mistake. Mistake which is very important, that we are going to learn in mistake. But right now concentrate on this. I am a chartered accountant. I take fees from my client and I advise him something which is not correct as per law, or the law has changed recently, but I am not knowing about it. But I am giving him genuine advice. I feel that you should pay a tax of 20,000 rupees. I have calculated with best of my knowledge. But say before 2 days, there was some circular which said that the law has changed, which I was not knowing. Causing innocently any party to do a mistake. If it is intentionally, it will be fraud. If it is innocently, it will be a mistake. These are 3 points will be regarded as misrepresentation. Will be regarded as misrepresentation. This is nothing but concept of misrepresentation. What we have already learned? Fraud as well as misrepresentation.